Hey guys, welcome to Sunday Spoon. If you're new here, hi, my name is Samira and this is the channel where we basically cook some random but delicious food while talking about some random but interesting stuff. And today we're making something that is very close to my heart and my culture. It is traditional Dagestani Chudu with herbs. If you never heard of Chudu before, just imagine something between a flatbread and a stuffed crepe, but thinner, softer, and honestly way more addictive. It is filled with fresh herbs, eggs, and cheese, cooked on a hot pan and then brushed with the butter so it becomes soft and fragrant. It's simple food, but it's also the kind of food that instantly reminds people of home. For a lot of families in the Caucasus, it's something you grow up with. For example, your mom and your grandmother together roll the dough so thin that you're actually scared for the dough's life because you think it will tear apart. But spoiler, it never does. And today I'm going to show you how to make it from the scratch. The dough is simple, the filling is packed with herbs, and the outcome is ridiculously good. So let's start with the dough. First thing we need is flour. I'm using about 700 to 750 grams of all-purpose flour, and now we are going to sift it. It's not mandatory, you don't have to sift it, but it will make the dough better. And just like this, you sift the flour. Into the flour we are adding 1 teaspoon of salt. And now we need 400 milliliters of comfortably warm water, not too hot but not cold either. If you don't know what millimeters even are, or you just want to screenshot the whole recipe with the ingredients, you can go in the description below this video and check it out because there are US metrics. Like this. And the next thing we need is to add vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons. And now we start mixing. At first it will be messy, it always is, but once the flour absorbs all the liquid ingredients, the dough will come together. Our aim for the Chudu dough is for it to be firm but still soft, not sticky at all, but not really hard like a rock. And then we can start mixing with our hands. Not intense, but it is still an arm workout. Will be strong and full. Don't eat the raw dough like I did when I was little. Yeah, there was like a chain of my actions that was not repeated once and not even twice. It was repeated almost every time my family was cooking something. So a little story time. Every time my mother, my grandmother, or my aunt were rolling the dough into one big circle, like for the Chudu or for the hinkao, that I usually did mess up. And this is the video when I cook hinkao by myself, so you can check this out later, but first listen this. Every time the women in my family were preparing the dough and were rolling this big slice of dough into a big circle, they had me to mess this up and let them start over, because I was coming out of nowhere to just grab a big chunk of the dough from the middle, like a flatbread that wasn't cooked, but it was rolled out already. I was just grabbing it, ripping it apart, and hiding under the table and eating it, like eating the dough, the raw dough, not cooked one. It might sound a little bit crazy, but I guess I was just really hungry. And you would believe me if I told you that I was hungry, right? By the way, nothing changed. It was all fun and games for me, but my grandmother actually had to start over this process of rolling out the dough very thinly and not rip this apart and not let me rip this dough apart and mess it up. So one of them, either my mom or my aunt, were just watching me so I would not run over to the table. Okay, anyway, once the dough is smooth and elastic, just look at this, it looks like a big eatable slime, and that was probably what I was thinking when I was little. It's just really squishy, it doesn't stick to my hands too much. I think it should be even more firm, but I don't want to mess this dough up, so I would not add no more flour. And we just put it in the bowl and cover it with a towel. And now we let this dough rest for about 30 minutes. And as I said before, almost in every video with this kind of dough, it is an important step to let the dough rest, because it will relax the gluten and it will be much easier to roll the dough out later. And trust me, we want this dough to be very thin, almost transparent, but not that transparent, because it will make the chudu itself even better and even tastier. We will prepare the filling, and it's almost like a celebration of herbs, because we have this much spinach and all the other pretty greens like green onions that I was using like a stand for my microphone, a little bit of cilantro and dill. It's such a heaven for my mom, because she loves all the green stuff in our house, and she will eat this like that in 5 minutes. First of all, don't forget to wash any greens that you're adding, because you can actually add any type of them. After washing, dry them with paper towels. My mom already did this. And now we start chopping. I know it's a lot of herbs, so a good trick will be to roll all the greens, preferably just one type of them, to roll them together and start chopping like this, so it will be faster and easier. Oh, how I love the smell of fresh cut herbs. It instantly starts smelling like a garden where a lot of, salad stuff, a lot of vegetables, basically like огород, as we say in Russian. And now I am going to use the chopper to chop the spinach, because there is too much of it and I'm too lazy to do it by hand, but it will be okay too. Actually, you can use a chopper for every herb. This is the type of a filling that already smells amazing before it's even cooked. But it's not the base of our filling. Now we will make it. Slide the pan onto medium heat and add about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And as it starts to sizzle, we will add the white parts of our green onions, these ones. Actually, I want to try add all of the green onions. Just know it's not the recipe, it's something that I tried to. So if it will work out, it's good. We are not looking for a hard sear here. We just need a little glow for the onions. Don't let them cook completely. While the onions soften, I will beat in 4 eggs that are right here into a different bowl, and then we will add them to onions. Once the onions are soft, we will add our eggs, but we don't want the omelette, so we will stir it constantly, breaking them into tiny soft cards. As soon as they set like this, while still looking a little bit glossy, we turn off the heat and let them cool. Now I will add all the herbs into one big bowl again and add the onions with the eggs. But here's the pro tip: before you will add them, make sure that your eggs are cold enough before it touches your herbs. We want the filling to stay fluffy inside the dough, so just mix it carefully to not scramble the eggs completely. Look at this filling. It's perfect already, but if you want to finish off with walnuts, you can do it. Or you can also add some feta cheese if you really like it, but I would not add any of it and just leave it as herbs with omelette. But wait on the salt, because we will only salt the dough right before we fold it. Otherwise, the greens will cry, which means release water, and make the dough soggy. Let's check back on our dough. After a 30-minute nap, it should feel like silk, and I already divided it into a few 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equal pieces, 120 grams each. we'll use the method that always works and that my mom always used to cook. So we roll out our dough very thinly. In Dagestan, they say the dough should be rolled out so thinly you can almost read the love letter through it, and I will try to roll out the dough as thinly as possible. I think this is enough to read the love letter. I don't have one. So instead of love letter, we will fill it with our herbs. This is enough. We will spread it on one side of the chudu. Don't forget the salt. And now we will fold it in half like this and pinch the edges with our finger. Or also you can use a fork. It will not only sew our chudu, but also it will make it even more beautiful. Also, it looks kind of like чебурек. If you want me to make them, write in the comments or tell me exactly what food you want me to make next. And this is our chudu. I will make the other ones just like I did with this one. And now it's finally time to cook the chudu. Get your largest cast iron or heavy bottom pan screaming hot. No oil, no butter. Chudu is always cooked dry. Now lay it in. And now carefully flip it. Watch out for the steam and just look at how beautiful the top of the chudu looks. Once the second side is toasted, slide it onto the plate, and there you have it, Dagestani herb chudu. When you tear into one of these, you get the heat of the richness of the herbs and the rich buttery finish. It's humble, it's simple, but it's also very delicious. Grab a glass of black tea, maybe some sour cream for dipping, and enjoy the quiet. Thank you so much for spending the Sunday afternoon with me on Sunday Spoon. If this recipe made your kitchen smell amazing, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Also, share it with your friends who like this kind of traditional food. Again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye bye!